Welcome to another website review with Alex Designs. Do you want to get your website reviewed? Go to alexdesigns.com/review. Okay, I'm going to be reviewing the jonathangerald.com website. As I arrive here and it loads, immediately I receive a pop-up. This overlay happens way too quickly. You need to introduce yourself in a way different way. I would definitely slow this down or not even potentially load it on your homepage. Maybe even load it on the second time that people arrive, but definitely people are probably leaving right away because they're arriving at this. As far as the layout of this thing, what's the value? Enter your email to receive JJ's list of the 59 best business and leadership book recommendations. See how long just me reading this took me to figure what that meant? There's no value here. I bet you a lot of people are not signing up for this. Let's close that. So whenever I arrive at a site, I say, who are you? What do I do, and why do I care? Right now, I know that you're using Michael Hyatt's Get Noticed themes, but right now, everything is weighted exactly the same. You're not telling me where to go. Just because these are rounded and right here doesn't mean that people actually even know what these mean. The business of people in leadership. Who are you? Jonathan Gerald. What do you do? The business of people in leadership? I don't understand that. It's not direct enough. You need to create a unique value proposition that really tells people why they're there and why they should care. And if your website is basically about you, then you should have a picture here, probably just like Michael Hyatt does. As I arrive down the page, as soon as I scroll down, you'll immediately lose your social icons and all the rest of the stuff up top. I understand that this is the way that this theme works, but this might not necessarily be the right layout for you. On the right column, this just looks like it's clickable. I have no idea what's going on. Get my free book. This should be placed looking like a book, and then getting this form to make it look like it's actually part of this. You have all of this different, colors, fonts, sizes of text going on, that everything is just way too complicated. I would start removing stuff. That would be my first recommendation, is remove everything that you don't think people are actually clicking on. Having too much stuff is the number one problem that most small business websites have. As I scroll down, what does this mean? I understand. I know that they're podcasts. I know that they're blog posts, but the average person probably does not. This opt-in form section, it just looks unorganized and unfinished. There's really no value here for me to do. I bet you that your opt-in rates are really, really low. As I scroll down, it's the same thing here. What am I going to get? The business of people in leadership podcast? Okay. So if I click on it, what happens? It takes me to another page that looks exactly like the page I just came from, along with a pop-up that just popped up too early. I think you're going to see a consistent trend throughout your whole site as this happens. You have to decide really above the fold within just a couple seconds what you want people to do. I can guess what you probably want people to do. You want people to probably opt in and sign up for your podcast. This is probably the most important part of your website right now, and it's buried all the way down below the fold. As you scroll down, I think this is, pretty good. Recent posts, most popular post. I would probably put that up top. Oh, you're offering your phone number. You actually want people to contact you? Don't bury it right there. Move that all the way to the top. That should be very apparent. If you want people to actually contact you and you're showing your phone number, make it visually apparent that they can do that. Right now, you're trying to just stack stuff on top of stuff, and everything seems very, very buried. Okay, and now you're listing a whole bunch of other people to go to their sites. I think my main recommendation for your site is to, first of all, remove everything that's not helping you. I would make it very simple so people can understand exactly what you do by telling them in a unique value proposition, and then give them direction of where they should go on your site. These are my blog posts. Click on the latest episode. Because if you click on any of this stuff, it's all going to take you back to the same layout with that overlay. Let's look at some examples of other people who are doing the exact same things. Obviously, Michael Hyatt. As soon as I arrive here, he has the exact same layout as you, but I identify with him. Oh look, he had a pop-up, but it was actually delayed. And it's actually clean and easy to read to know what value I'm going to get from actually putting my email in. He also lists out some social proof, showing this as featured in. That gives people identify that he's a credible source. I know that you may not be able to list New York Times, Wall Street, but you could probably find other things to potentially put up there. Also, his layout shows here, it makes it seem a little bit different than yours by showing that he's got it's a podcast, and that it's, it has some type of value. 10 reasons every leader needs a blog versus Tony DeLazori, Sex and Leadership. That doesn't mean anything to anybody. But 10 reasons every leader needs a blog gives me a reason to want to probably click on this. Then the opt-in. Obviously, he's showing his Inside the Toolbox book. It makes it look apparent that it's connected to his opt-in area. As you scroll down the page, he now shows what he wants people to do. He wants people to connect with him on Facebook, add them to their social media areas, have an About Me section, and then he's using visual elements to drive people down the page and break things up. Even though this is intentionally looking like banners. Like, people know that they're not going to click on these unless they're actually going to banner related stuff. So let's see if I click on productivity. How to organize Evernote. Obviously, that's about productivity. So he's using his content to leverage to get people to each area of his site. Now, I know that the Get Noticed theme can be a little bit difficult to update, but organizing your content in a little bit of a different way is probably the number one tip I can get you. Let's look at some other examples. Even though they don't use the Get Noticed theme. Chris Ducker. As soon as you arrive there, you see his face. You identify with people's faces. Bulleted text, easy to read, opt-in, social proof, organized areas to get people to where they want. Blog, book, podcast. You want to go visit his podcast? Click on it. Boom. Obviously, this is about his podcast. You notice he didn't have an opt-in overlay on his homepage. He has it on the second click. That's very important because you don't want to piss people off. Let's look at more examples. Chris Brogan. As you arrive here, You look at his face, you identify with him, and then he has an opt-in that's specifically about what's going on here. Banners. You know that those are really banners. And then he opens it up and has clearer space so you know that these are actually blogs. Let's look at some more examples. Ryan Lee. As soon as you get here, you see his picture. You identify with him and you understand his unique value proposition. Build your dream lifestyle business. He's telling you what he wants to accomplish by connecting with you. Ryan Lee, let's connect. I want to make this much money. Yes, send me my book. There's going to be a consistency across all the examples that I'm going to give you. Connect with me on social media. About, tweet, social proof. Jonathan Doyle, as soon as I arrive here, book, video, sections to click on. This one's nice because it keeps the navigation all at the top during the whole time. Download it on iTunes. Not trying to do things too differently. Like, he doesn't have too much going on. You identify with his face. You know there's an opt-in. You know that this is his book. And then there's a video here. And everything is organized in a lot better way. There's also how Navid's doing it. He has a nice intro homepage where he's introducing himself, putting it into bulleted form, and then giving an opt-in to get people to sign up. Then using this of all the places that he's guest posted, getting them to actually connect with him. There's also the podcast section where he's organizing it almost just as similar as Chris Ducker did, but showing that the podcast section is specific to the podcast. iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. That's what you want to get people to do to really organize your content in a better way. Because right now, when you arrive at your homepage, if I can even get to the homepage, everything just is all one weight, and there's really no way that you're telling people where to go. You want to tell people where to go and show them exactly what you have to offer. That's really the only way to do business with them, because people like to do business with people that they like. And right now, nobody knows who Jonathan Giral is. I hope this is helpful. Take care.